Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Apollo Art Analysis. In this episode, we're going to take a look at a piece by the AI generative artist Lia Coleman, and this is actually created in collaboration with DALL-E II. So in this episode, we're going to talk about this really definitive black and white contrast. We're going to talk about the pictorial language of Mandarin Chinese, and then we're also going to talk about the profound power of OpenAI's DALL-E II. So let's jump right into it. So whenever you first see this piece, you're likely going to be caught by this incredible accent. Of course, this white background is the perfect neutral backing to allow the emphasis of this black to the highest degree possible. So of course the result is a really kind of definitive contrast. Of course it defines the form of our subject here. So what we're looking at is actually an infographic, or an AI's rendition interpretation of an infographic about Chinese typography. So infographics, by design, of course, infographics. So they're meant to represent information in some type of visual way. And so we see here it's representing the art of typography for Mandarin Chinese or Chinese characters. And, it's not fully accurate, that's for sure. We're going to talk about a little bit more about that in a second. It is a very vague rendition of it, but regardless of that, it is an infographic about typography. And so, Mandarin Chinese is widely regarded as one of the hardest languages to learn. And of course, it is a pictorial language, so by design, it represents, of course, not one-to-one images, but it is a pictorial language in that it has its own different type of alphabet, and it represents sometimes much more visual language incorporated within that, really common to the root of cuneiform as well. And so we're looking at, of course, a piece generated by Lia Coleman in collaboration with DALL-E II. All she asked for was a black and white typography poster depicting Chinese characters. And so that's the title of the work there. And that was put into the AI generator to create this here. And so it's really, really interesting because the DALL-E II, you can put absolutely anything into it. It's kind of like an imagination genesis machine. And so you just put what you'd like to see and it'll pop right out. And so, of course, with that in mind, we see that it is not perfect. It's not creating exact one-for-one Chinese characters. It's creating very vague interpretations of that. But regardless, it really gives kind of a good starting point, or a good reference of a starting point to create something on top of that. Of course, this is not a final product because it's not really conveying any really good info. It's very vague. And so what an artist would do is they would use this as some type of inspiration or type of first addition to then evolve on top of and edit. So, you would kind of blank this out and put something else, but the layout is definitely there, and it's a very, very stunning presentation at that. And so OpenAI's DALL-E II, like I said, it's kind of like an imagination genesis machine. And we're seeing, she created this with early access to DALL-E II, and you see just the profound power of that. And so I thought that was really, really cool to see. And Lia Coleman is an AI generative artist who focuses on the intersection of multiple different things, but also the ethics and the code of that as well. And so, of course, a very, very cool piece. Like I said, an artist would use this as a first edition inspiration to hopefully, evolve on top of. And so the profound power of that, it's hard to really imagine just what this new program will bring. A bunch of different implications that we can't even think of, but also a very kind of priceless, a profound, and a very powerful tool to aid and assist artists in their day-to-day creative endeavors. And so I hope you guys enjoyed. Go check out DALL-E II's page as well as Lia Coleman's page. They're both doing some amazing things. Lia Coleman, like I said, AI generative artists focused on the intersection of coding and ethics and everything in between. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. My name is Apollo. This was Apollo Art Analysis, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to support our work directly, please check out our Apollo community tokens. Apollo Art Exchange is an ecosystem of art appreciation which elevates artists each and every day. Thanks for listening.